what do you do if you're sober, but you feel like you can't make enough money to get by? I'm driving to door knock after I went to an appointment that we didn't actually sit. We just drove an hour to go to an appointment, and that person, when we got there, within the first 5 minutes, was like, "Hey, I don't want to do this." And at that point, we're like, "Okay." And now, with the remaining time, we're going to head back closer to the office, and we're going to go door knock. And door knocking is when we just go door to door and offer roof inspections. And the thing about that is that's opportunity that we can generate. It has to do with what we're doing and the opportunity that it generates. So we can choose to go door knock. We could go do other stuff, like we could go home and just not do anything, but we're going to go door knock. And this is one of the things that I love about sales. It's one of the reasons why sales can be high paying if you do the right things. And it really correlates to, I think, what makes you successful in sobriety. See, people who are successful in sobriety, they're focused on inputs. They're not focused on outcomes. And I don't know about you, but I don't personally like jobs where like what I'm doing doesn't have any bearing on outcomes. I like to know that the things that I'm doing and working on are leading towards where I want to be. Now, another aspect of sales is if you can generate your own opportunities, you get paid well. And so it's not reliant on waiting for a raise or waiting for something else. It's 100% correlated to the amount of opportunities you have and at what rate you execute on those opportunities. Now, you may have never considered sales as a career. I didn't consider sales as a career until I was 33 years old and someone mentioned it to me. I did sales at my gym because it was required. Like as part of owning the gym, I had to do it. But someone told me, they're like, "Jonathan, have you ever like considered sales like as a career path?" And I was like, "Nah, I never did." And they're like, "You should consider that." And the more I've gotten to the time after that person telling me, the more I'm realizing like I'm kind of wired for it, but also there's aspects of it that just I relate with, right? Like, so like with sales, the scoreboard resets every day, right? Like just because you won yesterday doesn't mean you don't get to do, or like, it doesn't mean that you don't have to do what's required to succeed today. So it's like a resetting of the scoreboard. It's kind of like sobriety, right? Like it doesn't matter how bad or how good yesterday went. Like today is the only day that you have. So do the best that you can and do the things that lead to the type of outcome that you want. And sales is very much like that. Like it's not, you don't just wake up and go check boxes, right? There are activities for you to do. There are things to do to be successful. And whenever something comes your way, you have an opportunity to choose how you're going to respond, right? So like we just drove an hour and 15 minutes for an appointment that like we didn't even get to sit. A lot of people will complain about that, right? A lot of people would be like, "Well, what a waste of my time," or like, "This ain't worth my time." But that mindset, whatever you cultivate when the thing doesn't go your way, that's actually what makes you successful. So what will make you successful in sales, it's not necessarily like all the fancy closing skills that like the Wolf of Wall Street and like all that stuff makes famous. It's the willingness to do the things that lead towards the outcomes independent of the results you're currently getting, right? So like door knocking, great example. You go door knock. Well, you got to door knock just because it's a good way to generate opportunity, not because you're going to get a certain outcome. Because, dude, I've door knocked and gotten nothing in a day, and then there's days where I've door knocked and gotten more in an hour than I have in the past week. Like, you just don't know, but you have to be committed to the process of it. And there's just something about that process of being required to invest energy into outcomes that I think is healthy for someone in sobriety. Because we need something to work on. We need something to work towards. Like, I left a job that I had that was less physical effort than this. I probably made a little bit more money, but it's because I was sitting in the office on Zoom all day. I felt detached, right? And I just was like getting bored. And I just know that's not a good mental space for me, right? Like we as humans, and especially men, like we're meant to go out and like make progress in something. So, when it comes to like if you're in sobriety and you feel like like you're not making enough money, I would actually venture to assume you also probably don't feel like your job challenges you, or you don't feel like it makes you grow as a human. Not a lot of things will make you grow as much as doing something that requires your will in order to execute it. Door knocking, having a sales conversation, handling objections, all of that, that's an act of will. That's not just something like you like casually go through. Like you have to align your will with the action that's required. And so, dude, when it comes to sobriety, man, like it requires an active will. It requires some faith. It requires some belief in something that you don't necessarily see the outcomes yet, but you're going to do it anyways. So if you're struggling in your sobriety to make money, I would highly consider something like sales. Look in your area, Google jobs near me, or go on Indeed and try to find commission-based sales jobs. Go somewhere where they have training and it's not just like you come in and they don't teach you how to do anything. And definitely go somewhere where you feel ethical. There's some places where, like, yeah, sales jobs can be unethical, but there's a lot of really good sales places, sales positions. And you know what? Sales is actually an honorable thing, because what you're doing is you're advocating for the purchaser. Gone are the days where, like, you can hide. Dude, the internet makes everything public. So actually sales will keep you accountable, because you can't, if you're not going to be honest and have integrity, you're not going to last long anyways. But again, that's what's required for a longevity in sales. So that's why I promote it. That's what this channel is for. It's been life-changing for me. And so I just want to encourage you, if you feel like, man, I can't figure this money thing out, like, look into sales. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to build this YouTube channel for resources for that. Google, look up the stuff. I'm trying to put together some frameworks and blueprint stuff to help make it simple, like just super simple to get your first job. But at the end of the day, it's your active will to go find that job. So go get on Indeed, look for something, find something, but consider it, man. Like it's a job that requires work. It requires effort, but you're going to work anyways. You might as well work where the outcomes are greater for your time invested, AKA they pay more. I'll see you guys later.